Anger at restrictions imposed to contain the coronavirus pandemic spilled over to the streets of Europe on Saturday in the form of protests. German police used water cannons, pepper spray and clubs on protesters rallying over the coronavirus lockdown in the town of Kassel in central Germany, where demonstrators numbered some 20,000. Protests against government measures to rein in the pandemic were also reported in Austria, Britain, Finland, Romania and Switzerland. Germany faces a surge of COVID-19 infections as a more contagious variant of the virus has spread. Experts say it highlights the need to accelerate vaccinations. But a botched vaccine rollout appears to have deepened distrust against the German government. The suspension of AstraZeneca vaccine was the latest hurdle in Germany's efforts to vaccinate its population of 83 million. After a 3-day pause in using AstraZeneca, Germany is now trying to ride the course. The motto is vaccinate, 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 German Chancellor Angela Merkel said after a meeting with the leaders of the country's 16 states. Britain's speedy vaccine rollout has been a surprise success for the government of Boris Johnson, who has received heavy criticism for his response to the virus. Britain was the first in the world to administer a fully tested vaccine. But it didn't stop thousands of people attending anti-lockdown demonstrations in London on Saturday. Protesters held placards that read, "Fear West Monster, not the virus, and stop destroying our kids' lives," as they marched through central London along Oxford Street, the Embankment and the Parliament Square before heading up to Whitehall. In Hyde Park, police were forced back into their vans as demonstrators lobbed bottles and cans at them. The BBC reported that few protesters appeared to be wearing masks. London Metropolitan Police said 36 people had been arrested during the rallies, most of them involving violations of COVID-19 regulations. The protests came the same day as 60 members of parliament urged the Home Secretary to ease restrictions and demonstrations due to coronavirus restrictions. It's currently unlawful for groups to gather for the purpose of protest. But the measures came under direct assault this week. The outcry over lockdowns has combined with the groundswell of rage at the abduction and death of Sarah Everard, a 33-year-old woman who went missing earlier this month while walking home. Her body was found a week later and a serving police officer has been charged with her murder. Prime Minister Boris Johnson is reportedly planning to introduce a controversial new law banning protests that are noisy or cause serious annoyance and would carry a maximum jail term of 10 years. News Desk, Kaumudy English.